Okay, so I'm the last. Do you think they gave me some tough acts to follow? I mean, really. So I'll be short and sweet because I'm on the last, so, wake up. It's just a few more minutes. And I'm really very happy to be here with you today. It's so great to be in this room that's just filled with wonderful women and men, too. So I wanted to share with you some things that I learned in the process of making a film about wise women, and it's called Get Real, Wise Women Speak. But after listening to Dr. Pamela Peeke and the amazing and courageous Tara, I think I'm changing the name to Get Real, Wise Warrior Women Rock. So I've been practicing TM for almost 40 years. And if Dr. Pamela Peeke is right, I should have a big damn brain. I don't know. That prefrontal cortex should be awesome. But I think that one thing that comes with connecting with your inner self on a daily basis is that you begin to become more authentic and to value authenticity more. And so what happened in my life is I began growing in authenticity and appreciating it more and more. I also became more and more disgusted with the way the popular media portrays women and girls of any age, at any stage, especially in these so-called reality shows. And they're not real. And it's certainly not authentic. So what I did is that I went in search of more authentic role models, and specifically in search of modern-day wise women. After all, mythology and ancient literature of almost every culture across the board represents wisdom as feminine. No surprise there, right? Sorry, Bobby. So there's 18 wise women in my film, including Marianne Williamson, Jane Fonda, Della Reese, Nobel Prize winner Jody Williams, the poet Nikki Giovanni, the editor Susan L. Taylor, the Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers, and many more. And from them, I learned that motivation shifts in life when ambition is replaced by meaning, and an inner fire is sparked, and it propels individuals to use their time, their experience, and their wisdom to make a difference in the world, to improve the world. So we call this burning desire to infuse action with meaning the third fire. As cultural anthropologist Angeles Aryan told us, it has to have fire, or I won't do it. It has to have fire. So what has fire for these wise women in my film? It's generally helping others, and in many cases, it's helping women and girls. Jane Fonda's passion is working with adolescent girls. Susan Taylor told me that she's on fire to help adolescents, and she started a foundation to mentor young people. Swanee Hunt works to improve the lives of women in violent conditions all over the world. Jody Williams won a Nobel Peace Prize for her work against landmines. And Tenzin Palmo is a Buddhist nun who created a nunnery in the foothills of the Himalayas for young girls and women who escape on foot through the mountains of Tibet to reach it. Some of the women in the film who are really especially dear to me are from the Council of the 13 Indigenous Grandmothers. And these are women who use their tribal knowledge, their authentic tribal knowledge, and they travel the world with it to bring peace and healing. And one of the women we interviewed was Flora de Mayo, who is of Mayan descent. And Flora de Mayo told us that women are the keepers of the knowledge of the feminine. And I just love that. I mean, women are the keepers of the knowledge of the feminine. She says that our culture is very family and community oriented. Our young girls are not left alone. They're being taken care of. And she says it's the role of all women to be advisors to younger women and to girls. So how do we help the vulnerable girls and the young women that are needy among us? How do we bring them healing and empower them? One of the standout takeaways from my film is the importance that almost all the women place on creating sacred space in their lives, for every day to have that time for sacred space. Della Reese, who's quite a character, and she's now an ordained minister, she told us, she said, "My favorite quote is, 'Be still and know that I am God.'" And Della goes on to say, in her own Della way, that's more than just a sentence. Stop running around like a chicken with its head cut off and know that you know what you know. You've got to love Della, right? We also interviewed one of the indigenous grandmothers, Agnes, who's a Native American elder, and Agnes advises, to be a woman of wisdom, you need to incorporate spirit world, and you need to listen to spirit world. So the wise women in my film take daily time to commune with their inner selves, to release stress and to become more effective. And so it's no surprise that many of these women, including some of the indigenous grandmothers, practice transcendental meditation, which, as you've heard over and over, has been scientifically verified in hundreds of studies in prestigious journals to effectively release stress and to create inner happiness. It's an incredibly effective technique. And it's also a great way to be still and to know that you know what you know. So one of the things that I'm on fire for personally is to help our most vulnerable young people by bringing TM to them. And that's why I'm on the board of the David Lynch Foundation, and that's why I personally love to support Lois Lee in her work with Children of the Night. One of my own cherished memories is when I got the opportunity about a year ago in LA to meditate with some of the Children of the Night kids. And you know what I learned is that they're no different than my own children in their hopes and dreams for the future. And in fact, one of my daughters, Chloe, is here, and it's her dream to be a writer and a teacher, and it's very similar to what the young woman that we heard in the video that Lois brought us said. So I'm so deeply happy that TM is going to help those children, many of them, to reach their dreams. So we're reaching the end here. I'd like to close with a quote from the film by Angelis Arian. Angelis said that the elder's greatest responsibility is to re-enchant the world, to bring magic, possibility, and great love into children's lives, and to assure them that they can do anything. It's a part of mentoring the next generation and planting seeds so that they become our future. So I personally don't know of a better way to ensure the future of our girls and young women and to re-enchant the world than to give them the gift of transcendental meditation. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you.